We want the power.
What is power? What is power? Is this power? Is this power? Is this power? What is power? It's a good question. Sometimes when we think of power, we think of strength or skill or control. But really, power is just a name we give to a complex, dynamic, ever-changing set of processes that sometimes turn into conventions, rules and laws, organisations, social orders and political hierarchies. Power isn't just something that people and things have. Power isn't just the privilege of a certain group. And power isn't just a structure or a relationship between people. But one of the effects of power is that it often looks like it is these things. Power appears to be a simple thing when really it's complicated. That's one of power's most powerful features. And because we don't often think about how power is made to appear as if it's simple, and who benefits from power appearing to be simple, we sometimes find it hard to talk about power at all. Maybe, instead of asking, what is power, we could ask another question. What does power look like? So that's what we're going to do in these films. We're going to spend time with the words, gestures, and images that represent power. Think about how they look and why they look the way they do. What does power look like? Power looks like a metaphor. In this first video, we're going to look at different metaphors for power. When we talk about power, for the most part, it means we're talking in metaphors. In our metaphors, we take the complex, abstract notion of power and we turn it into a simple, material thing, with flaws or tiers or levels or links. But metaphors aren't just ways of being clever with words. The way we talk about power is an expression of the way we think about power, as a structure, a tool, or a building. These metaphors are not just ways of visualizing power, but the ways in which we conceive of power and how power appears to us. These metaphors are the only way we can think and talk about power, and because of that, these metaphors constitute the way that power works in the world. Let's take a look at two different metaphors and see what they're saying. Power looks like a ladder. We all know what a ladder is. A ladder is a series of horizontal supports, rungs, or steps suspended between two vertical beams. We use a ladder to go up and down between places that are above and below one another. We use a ladder to access a space we can't reach from the floor. When power is a ladder is a sequence or series of changes to our lives through which we gain money, status, self-worth, or control over other people. A ladder is the career ladder, the social ladder, the property ladder. When we go up a ladder, each step takes us higher up. But when power is a ladder, each step is a higher rank, a better job, or a more senior position. When power is a ladder, each step is itself an achievement or a promotion. We climb each step through our individual effort, but also people above us on the ladder recognise our effort and allow us to climb onto the next step. The people above us on the ladder are our superiors. When we use a ladder, it's positioned vertically because we use it to go up and down. But when power is a ladder, it's positioned vertically because it connects different ideas, say two different jobs at a company or two different roles in a society. And by connecting them, it puts them in a hierarchy where one is better than the other. The better one is positioned higher up the ladder. The worse one is lower down. We use vertical positions in metaphors a lot. We think of pairs of ideas in terms of up or down, above and below. More is up and less is down. Success is up and failure is down. Rationality is up and emotions are down. Knowledge is up and ignorance is down. Wealth is up and poverty is down. Health is up and illness is down. Happiness is up and sadness is down. Goodness is up and immorality is down. And then we start to connect those ideas together. So up is more, is success, is knowledge, is wealth, is happiness, is health. Down is less, is failure, is ignorance, is poverty, is sadness, is illness. When we go up a ladder, we've done whatever it is we want to do at the top of the ladder, we can come back down the ladder. A ladder is always used to access spaces temporarily. A ladder would be useless if we couldn't come back down. But when power is a ladder, we only want to climb it. When power is a ladder, each step is a temporary position on our way to the top of the ladder. When power is a ladder, we rarely think of ourselves coming back down. When power is a ladder, we have to start on the bottom rung. Climbing the ladder takes effort, but it's worth it. We always know where we are on the ladder. We know who is above us on the ladder and who is below. We might kick someone back down the ladder if we're above them. And we have to hope that if the people above us get to the top of the ladder, they don't pull it up behind them. Power looks like a chain. A chain is a continuous series of metal rings or links that secures or connects things. When power looks like a chain is a system of command, or a sequence of causally connected incidents, or a traceable passage of the distribution of materials. A chain is a chain of command, a chain of events, or a supply chain. Chains have a metonymic relationship to slavery and imprisonment, and this metaphor leads to other metaphors where chains stand in for strong, unequal connections between people, relationships of domination, abuse, or desire. When chains are used to secure things rather than to restrict the freedom of people, we get metaphors for strong, hard-to-break connections between cause and effect, decisions and actions. Each link of a chain is connected to its neighbours. Each link and connection is as strong as the last, and the strength of those links and connections are equally important. Unlike ladders, most of us don't have much experience of chains in our day-to-day lives. We think of chains when we think of connections between things that are bigger than us. We think of a chain that lowers a boat's anchor, or holds up a bridge, or is raised by a crane. When power looks like a chain, it connects life or death decisions, or processes in a complex system, or events that are inextricably linked by forces beyond our comprehension. A chain secures something, or connects one thing to another. But when power looks like a chain, the chain connects people and things in one direction. And if you follow the links back up the chain, you can see who is in control, who is making decisions or giving orders. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. When a chain breaks, it doesn't matter which link has broken, which connection has failed. To fix a chain is to reconnect the links. But when power is a chain, identifying the point where the chain breaks down is part of fixing the chain, and also a way to pin responsibility for the breaking of the chain. When power is an unbroken chain, it is a single flow of power, and power acts precisely and with great authority. When power is a broken chain, the flow of power is disrupted, and the disruption is attributed to a single link or connection. The links in a chain are inanimate objects, designed and produced in an industrial process. When power is a chain, the links in the chain are not inanimate objects, but people, or processes, or other chains. Chains within chains, links as chains, with their own connections and their own capacities and limits before they themselves are broken. When power is a chain, we only see the chain, not the links, and this obscures all the decisions, actions, and relations that are taking place at the level of the links and the connections between them. When power is a chain, the links have agency. When power is a chain, a conscientious act or an ethical act or a political act might break the chain, a whistleblower might break the chain, or strikers might break the chain, or the chain might be broken by something outside the connections that make up the chain. A legal procedure or a protest might break the chain. When power is a chain, breaking the chain disrupts the flow of power, and also, for a moment, breaking the chain exposes the links of the chain for what they really are. A broken chain lets us pick up the pieces and examine them before the chain is fixed and the power flows once again.
Please don't ever break these chains.
So what does power look like when power is a ladder or a chain? And what does power look like when it looks like a metaphor? Well, it looks like a way of placing statuses, roles, events or objects in relative positions to make those abstract concepts appear as if they're located above or below one another, somehow physically connecting them in space. When power looks like a metaphor, it looks like real things in the world, things we could touch and comprehend. But there is a difference between when a ladder or a chain is a ladder or a chain, and when a ladder or a chain is a metaphor for power. The difference is that when power looks like a ladder or a chain, the way the ladder or chain works is reduced or simplified. Instead of a ladder being a way to move up and down, when power is a ladder, the only way is up, from the least powerful to the most powerful. And instead of a chain being a way to connect two things together, when power is a chain, the connections only go one way, ensuring that whatever is connected by the chain, whether that is decisions, events or materials, flows in one direction, down the chain, from the most powerful to the least powerful. In these metaphors, power appears as if it only ever moves in one direction, up the ladder and down the chain. In both metaphors, power appears above us, and if we want to see power, we have to look up. But this is just another trick that power plays on us. Power wants us to think that it takes place far above us, out of reach, when in fact it happens right in front of our eyes. In the next video, we'll be spending time with some bodily movements and physical interactions that sometimes stand in for power. What happens when power looks like a gesture? What does power look like then?
We want the power for the people. We want the power for the people. We want the power for the people. We want the power.